Hey everybody, Karen from Ask the Spirit Guides. I hope you're doing fantastic today. So we are going to do August messages from the Lead Team Collective, okay? So I kind of wanted to get back to that a little bit. Every once in a while I'm not in the mood to do it, or for some reason I'm not called to do it. I don't think we did it very extensively in July, like monthly energies. But this month I feel very called to do it for some reason again. So for the next every other day this week, so Tuesday, Thursday, and actually next Sunday, we're going to talk about three different messages that they have for the month of August. Okay. Again, this will come from the lead team. So it's all of our spirit teams combined. Okay. And we're going to kind of go back to what I was doing a couple months ago, and before that, is pull some oracle cards to give us additional messages about what they want us to know for the upcoming month. Okay. And I've got the cards. They actually gave me, even though I keep asking. So we have 3 messages today, 3 for Thursday and 3 for next Sunday. Okay. And even though I was like, can you just give me 6 messages? 2, 2, 2. No, they gave me 9. They're giving me 9 messages for the month. And so we'll just break it down a little bit. Otherwise it gets a little overwhelming, just probably to hear and for me to process all the information. But they did give me, I did have them drop cards for the oracles. And we have 2 decks per message today. Okay. And we'll see what that looks like for the next 3 messages. Okay. Before we go any further, could you do me a big favor? So YouTube did an update, which is very common for tech companies or social media. If you're on the back end of it, you'll know it's very common for them to do algorithm updates. Okay. They set new rules. They do whatever they're doing behind updating the software. Who knows? But it does make things wonky for a while. It either can speed things up for different channels or it can slow things down. We noticed, and I put a newsletter out yesterday just to ask people to double check if they were still subscribed. Can you please double check if you're still subscribed to the channel? And if you're not and you want to be, would you please subscribe again? And if you could give as many of our videos a thumbs up right now, watch it as long as possible. Even if you're not listening anymore, just let it run on the background because that'll help speed things up again. We noticed that our channel took a little bit of a like, where'd everybody go? And not everybody. I mean, there's quite a few views still, but it really did change. And I don't think it's anything funky like they're trying to, quiet the channel or anything like that. We don't have any proof of it being like that. It's just algorithm. Okay. So if you could do that, that would be amazing. It would really help us out a lot because, what we found, we realized this was happening to you guys because you were telling us in the comments. Okay. So what we found, people we're not even popping up in your feed anymore because you might have been unsubscribed or for whatever weird reason. I don't think it's anything nefarious. I really don't. And again, we don't need to go there. I think it's happening to a lot of channels. So, but people have found that they had to ask the spirit guides into search to even find us again. So, anyways, so just help us out by giving the thumbs up, watching the videos as long as possible, because that really does help too. And it will help it get picked up again. And maybe people who were subscribed might start seeing it again. Okay. All right. So before I get to the 3 messages, I've kind of dedicated myself to talking about things that I'm learning. I'm going to spend 3 minutes on this. Okay. Things that I'm learning from survivors of abuse. And these survivors happen to be involved in the Epstein case. Okay. I don't know if they're involved in the case, but they're survivors from the trafficking that went on with Epstein. Okay. So one thing that I learned, and you know what, there's a part of me that realizes this is not only, first of all, this is not only happening to girls and women, but in terms of Epstein, I haven't heard of it happening to boys or men at this point. That doesn't mean it's not happening to them. But I think, and the reason I wanted to say that is because I do think this is a part of the rise of the divine feminine, where this is, again, it involves both sexes, either as perpetrators or survivors. Okay. But all of us need to start saying no more. I'm not going to stand for it anymore. I'm not going to pretend it's not happening by going on with my normal life. I do want to educate myself. Okay. And guess what? Because I'm educating myself, you may be totally educated already, but because I'm educating myself, I'm going to spend 3 minutes talking about it every once in a while when I get new information. Okay. So there's a few things I learned I thought was really helpful. Okay. This is a survivor who was, I will post the video below. She was being interviewed by Katie Couric. Okay. Her name is Jess Michaels. And I just looked up, she said she was working on an app. And I just looked it up. What I thought she said was the app, but I can't find it. And I will tell you about it once I do find it. Okay. I might have written the name down wrong, or I'm not sure, because a lot of these survivors are creating resources. And I think if we can support them and their resources, their books, whatever, then I'll let you know about it and you can decide if you want to support those. Okay. So again, Jess Michaels, there's a few things I learned from her, which were amazing. The first thing she said, which I really resonated with, is she says she prefers that we don't call it PTSD. So post-traumatic stress disorder. She says, I am not disordered, I'm injured. And I thought, oh my gosh. Okay, you know how sometimes I don't feel very good about semantics, I'm like, that's just semantics. This is a situation that totally, sometimes I do feel like it's a little, you know what I mean, semantics. But in this situation, I think semantics are important. Okay, so so what she says is it's PTSI. Post-traumatic stress injury. And that would be the same for veterans. Yeah, they were injured. This is not a disorder. It's not a disorder. They did not disorder themselves. Something happened. They were injured. Okay. And now they're dealing with that injury, that post-injury. And so I thought that was a really cool thing to have taught me today. I thought that was really helpful. And the other thing she mentioned, and I'm very aware of this because I was a residence hall director for 5 years before I worked in academic advising for the rest of my career in higher ed. And so as a hall director, you have to be very aware of sexual assault and, how to work with women and girls that happens to, because unfortunately it happens on college campuses a lot more than people realize. Okay. And anyway, so she said, which is so true, people's first reaction. Okay. So this is just for us to learn that if anyone ever tells you that they've been assaulted, especially like more recently, that she said most of the people will be like, you have to call the police. Like that's the first thing people say. If somebody was in a car accident and they came home and they'd be like, I was in a car accident, would the first thing you say be, you have to call the police? No, the first thing you'd say was, are you okay? Are you okay? And so that is something that we have to start shifting, because we are not, she said only 2% of sexual assault cases are being reported and dealt with. And that is freaking ridiculous. It is a crime. It is, I don't know. This whole topic just really can get me going. And I just feel like now at least I can say a few words. And yes, it's more than 3 minutes now. Well, just about, maybe 4. I feel like I can move us a little bit further for those who are interested in just helping us move the dial on this issue, because this is a crime against humanity, because it happens to men, boys, girls, women. The perpetrators are both men and women. It's very invasive. And so this is a crime against humanity, and we have to start treating it like one, okay, so that we can stop it. So anyways, those are the two things that I want to say about it today. So if anybody comes in front of you and is disclosing to you, the first thing you say is, are you okay? We need to make the survivors feel safe. They don't feel safe, which is why a lot of them don't report, because they don't feel safe. Because the first thing we're saying is, you got to call the police. Well, no, are you okay? How can we help you feel safe right now? And I thought, that's amazing. So, okay, once I find out what her app is, I'll let you know. Okay, so let's go ahead with the messages. These are very interesting for the month of August. Remember, today we're only doing the top 3. Okay, not top, but the first 3 that they gave me. So the first message they gave me for August is turmoil among elites. Turmoil among elites. And I've got 2 decks to do that, but I'm going to give you all 3 messages and then we'll go through the decks, okay? Because they'll help us tease out a little bit more of what they mean. The next one is just laugh. Now, I don't know, do they want us to just laugh at the turmoil among elites? I don't know. It feels a little weird. Or just to continue. Last month, very strong messaging. In fact, I was looking back at the July messages that they gave us. And they only gave us like 3 or 4. I didn't really carry through on additional messages, which I will this month for sure. I'm just feeling very called to do that. But the carryover of love yourself, take care of yourself seems to be still here. Okay, so just laugh. In fact, this is one of the cards the decks that they want us to use for that. Okay, so that makes sense. And they want us to use crystals. So I do love when they pick the crystals, especially in the beginning of the month, because that could, I'm going to go pull the crystals that they suggest and have those out for the month. Okay. And then the third message is live through the chaos. Live through the chaos. Okay. Now, I will tell you the fourth message, because I think it's interesting, and we'll unpack it more on Thursday, is winter coming. And I don't think they're talking about, in fact, did I ask them? I don't have the sense, or I didn't have the sense right away, and I might have asked them, I can't quite remember. I don't think they're talking about winter as in cold. I think they're talking about dark. Okay, so dark. Live through the chaos, I mean, we are living through the chaos, right? We're totally living through the chaos right now. Okay, so I've got my book. I'm not going to show you the other 2 messages. So I've got my book, all right. I got my August, and so I'm going to fill in when we pull cards right now. So if you have a piece of paper and you want to do the same thing, kind of keep track. What I really like about this is Lead Team Collective, and remember, it's part of your spirit guides. So you've got the messages. You could also pull cards for yourself on those messages if you wanted to. You could be like, well, turmoil among elites. What do you want me to know specifically? You could ask your team, what do you want? What do they want you to know specifically? And you could pull cards on that message for yourself as well. Okay. Or as I'm pulling cards right now, put down what resonates with you, not just what resonates with me. Okay. So the message, there's multiple messages in these. Okay. So for turmoil among elites, they wanted me to use Moonology and the Elemental Oracle. Okay, so let's go ahead with Moonology first, and let's see what they want to tell us. Turmoil among elites. That was a very specific message, isn't that? It's very specific. Whoa. Okay, that's way too many cards. But I did have some initially fall. Let me just see. Are these the cards you wanted us to have in this little deck in front of me? Yes. Okay. Are there any others in the deck you want me to pull? No. Okay, so they really drop those fast. Okay, so let's see how many of these. So I have 4 messages in front of me. So we'll just see. So I've got these 4. Let's see which ones they want us to do here. Okay, do you want me to, oh, and you guys, I did say, sorry, I didn't say the prayer, but I said it obviously before I did pendulum today. And I guess I didn't mention that these messages came on the pendulum. So yeah, that's why, yeah, normally I do the prayer with you, but I just forgot. So, okay, so lead team, the card, far card on my right, is that a card you want me to read? Yes. How about the next one to the left, second one in? Yes. How about the third card? No. How about the fourth card? No. Okay, so 2 cards. Okay, 2 cards. Okay, so first, I'm going to get rid of these 2. All right, so first message, and remember, this is referring to turmoil among elites. I wonder if it has anything to do with Epstein. Okay. Turmoil among elites. Get anything from that? They're reaching. They're reaching. Okay. Oh, funny. Reach for the moon. Go for it. Turmoil among elites. Reach for the moon. Go for it. Now, again, these could be messages for us individually as well. So just whatever resonates with you, there's no right or wrong. If it resonates with you, if any of the message resonates with you about someone else, about the turmoil among elites, or you feel like that's a message for you, then write it down. Okay? Because no right or wrong, it's what resonates with you. Because what resonates with you will be different than what resonates with me. Okay, and that's your inner guidance. All right, and I'll read more on this. And the second message is, oh, boundaries, out of bounds. Okay, that is really interesting. Well, I guess not. I guess, are they all moon? It is moonology. So I was like, oh my God, there's 2 messages about the moon. But I think it is called moonology. So, all right, so out of bounds, moon. Boundaries. All right, so let's see what it is that they're trying to tell us. Where'd my little booklet go? Where is it? Oh my gosh. I've lost the booklet. There it is. I lost it for a minute. Okay, reach. Let's see if I can find this quickly. Aha, reach for the moon. Okay. Okay. Help me figure out how to decipher this when it comes to turmoil among elites, okay? Huh. Okay, don't give up. Aim even higher. Success is within your grasp. Challenges can be character building. Belief makes the seemingly impossible possible. If you were hoping that the cards would confirm that you can get what you want, you're in luck. Oh. Well, it's not that I want turmoil among elites. What I want is for people to be held accountable for their actions, just like the rest of us have to be, you know? And if they have to feel a little turmoil, then so be it. You know, that is the way it is. That is the way it is. Okay? So very interesting. That's how I'm interpreting this. If you were hoping that the cards would confirm that you can get what you want, you're in luck. So what now I'm understanding this is we can go for it. We can say, yeah, it's time you're held accountable. It's time we know the truth about everything this government, the elites have been doing over the last 50, 60 years. We're strong enough to handle it. We are not going to break down. We are going to accept it and we are going to move on. But people need to be held accountable. I'm feeling very strong about that. I'm very clear, you know. This card comes with the message, go for it. In other words, it's all there for you to win. If you've been doubting yourself or questioning your ability to achieve a goal or to make something work, this card reminds you that you're magical and amazing, and you should rise to the challenge. That's awesome. There's a reason why it's all developing the way it is, and part of that reason could well be because it's helping you grow as a person. Anybody else been growing this year? A lot? Yeah. I don't think I've ever grown as much as I have in the last 6 months. Oh my gosh. Okay. I love it. Okay, so what I'm going to write down in my book under, I didn't have enough room for all 9 messages, so I have to have little diagonals. I'm going to write, I mean, basically, this is confirmation for me that the truth is coming. The truth and accountability are here. Is here. Truth and accountability is here. Are here. Yeah. I don't know why. I just feel that. Challenges can be character building. Okay, so the other thing I'm going to write down, there's a reason why it's all developing the way it is, and part of the reason could well be because it's helping you grow as a person. I'm not going to write all that down. That would be a lot. But I do like the message of there's a reason why it's developing. I was thinking it was unfolding. Developing the way it is. It is our growth. And I'm just going to put our growth. Okay, so that's what I'm going to write down for those two. So the truth and accountability are here or coming. Okay, I might say are coming. And then there's a reason why it's developing the way it is for our growth. Okay, all of ours. Okay. All right. And then out of bounds, boundaries. I don't think that's going to be too hard to figure out. That one makes more sense to me. Out of bounds, boundaries. Okay. All right. You're a unique and magical being. Emotions are running too high. Okay, with turmoil among elites. Avoid overreacting. Draw a line under the past. Draw a line under the past. Use your intuition more. It's time to take a full and honest inventory of your behavior in the recent past. Okay, we're talking about them. Okay. Have you been going too far? Yeah. Have you been acting out? Yes, they have. Have you been allowing your emotions to get the better of you? Maybe they have. If you know that they've been misbehaving emotionally, I'm changing the words, it's time to rein things in. Draw up some boundaries. Okay, and that I'm going to put that down as boundaries for us. We, the people, have boundaries. And we're sick of being used. We're sick of being fed stuff that's not healthy for us, whether it's messaging, food, environmental stuff. We are drawing the boundaries. So that's what I'm putting down for that. We, the people, are drawing, I'm going to say drawing clearer boundaries. Okay, this will be interesting just to see what happens with that. Like we're going to come back and look at that and see, has that kind of come, or can we see that we're drawing clearer boundaries, you know? Okay. All right, the elemental oracle. I'm never going to get this out by 2 o'clock today. It's already 1:22. Oh well, happens every once in a while. The elemental oracle. I don't want to rush either, then I feel like I'm Okay, so you guys, LT, oh, there we go. Whoa. Let's see what they've got. I've got two cards in front of me. All right. Do you guys, do you want me to read either of these cards? Yes. Do you want me to read both of them? No. Do you want me to pull a different card from the deck? No. Okay. Do you want me to read the card on my right? That would be your left, you guys. Yes. What about the card on the left? No. Okay. All right. So this one is clarity. Oh, nice. So if the elites, still has to do with turmoil among elites. They've got some mountains to climb, don't they? But we're going to get some clarity, it looks like. Yay. I'm ready for it. I'm down for it. I'm down for it. I don't know if I would have been down for it a couple months ago, but which we can all see, right? I don't know. I mean, everybody's in different places, I'm sure. Okay. There is an advantage to looking at things from a higher perspective. You are too close to something to see it properly and clearly. Take the high road, look at the big picture. Are you making too big deal of something? What do you guys think about that? To me, I'm just going to go with the word clarity on here. You know, but I mean, that could be a message for you individually. Just seeing if there's anything else. No, not really. I think I'm going to go with the word clarity. So we might be getting some clarity while the elites are in turmoil. Getting some clarity. Poor babies. Poor babies in a little turmoil. They're the ones who created the turmoil. Okay, so getting clarity. This month I'm going to put. Okay. Okay, so let's look at the next one, just laugh. Just laugh, okay? So this was probably going to be, obviously, personal messages for us. And we've got two decks to use today. Like I said, the self-care. I'm excited to use, we've used this one already this month. And crystals for beginners. We haven't used that one for a little bit. I think I got this from somebody in our community. But we did get starseed from somebody in the community, so I'm excited to use that. That's for the next message. Okay, so self-care wisdom, just laugh. I don't know if we need too many more messages about this, but I don't know, just laugh, like what? Just laugh at what? Everybody will interpret that the way, it's helpful for you. Whoa, okay. All right. So, good girl with an X crossed. Power. The ability to suck it up is not a superpower. Saying no is own your power. Love it. I'm just reading these because these are the two that fell. Security. True security comes from having a reserve of time, space, energy, personal power, and love. Make deposits in all of these accounts and you'll be a wealthy person indeed. Wow, that's a really cool way of thinking about that. True security comes from having a reserve of time, space, space around you so you can have your boundaries, energy, personal power, and love. Make deposits in all of these accounts and you'll be a wealthy person indeed. That's awesome. So what's really interesting is both cards had the word power in it. So that's really, I'm going to interpret that with the just laugh, that is your power. Just laugh, meaning you're not taking things too seriously. You've got your boundaries. You're not going to get caught up in the turmoil, which is actually the next message. Okay. And like basically stand in your own personal power. Laugh. Have fun. Okay. If it's not happening to you, you can support it. You can support the people that you want to support through difficult times, but we also need to stand in our own personal power. Just doing that alone is supporting any issue you're caring about, you know, is really standing in that personal power of just saying no more. Or not necessarily no more. It doesn't have to be the negative. It's this is what I expect going forward, you know? So you can look at it that way too. So just laugh. I'm going to put stand in our personal power. That feels enough for me for that. Okay, so let me know what you're going to write in that from those cards. Okay. And then we have crystals. So let's see. They may be dropping a few crystals that we can use this month. That would be helpful for us. So that'd be cool. Okay, I don't want to miss one. Let's see. So what message around, whoa, okay. I always get surprised when one really drops. All right, let me just see if that's, did you guys want me to just read that card? Yes. Did you want me to pull any others from this deck? No? Okay. All right. Let's see. Oh, I don't think I have this one. I'll have to go get it. I don't have a green opal. Do you guys have green opal? Okay, we'll see what the message is though. So maybe, and if you have a crystal deck, maybe pull one for yourself too. If this is, you want a different one. So this is the card that they want us to look at. So green opal. Okay. And this is under live through the chaos. Okay. So this is oh, no, sorry. We're still under just laugh. We're still under just laugh. Okay. So green opal. Green opal. Hey, any excuse to go to the rock store, right? Or crystal store. Okay. So the chakra is heart. The zodiac is Cancer and Pisces and Scorpio. Element is earth and water. Numerology is 8, in case some of you guys are making some connections that I'm not going to make on those. The planet is earth, okay? Physical healing properties. Helps to cool a fever and infections. Improves your memory function. Can improve the immune system and helps in detoxification. Mental and emotional healing properties. Assists in strengthening all types of relationships. Again, we're having issues, our relationship with other humans who have been fortunate enough on Earth in this lifetime to accumulate a lot of wealth. We obviously need to strengthen our relationship with them. They need to strengthen their relationships with other people that are not elite, right? Helps you prepare for change and new beginnings. Okay, so that might be key. Helps you prepare for change and new beginnings because there's so much of that. Liberates you from fear, guilt, or shame. Love it. Liberates you from fear, guilt, or shame. Strengthens the desire to live because this is a hard time. This is a hard time, and if you feel like it's not worth being here right now, then this green opal might be really helpful for you besides other things. And just keep in mind, if you do feel that way, one of the things that really helps me is when I hear other people say, remember you guys, we contracted for this. We wanted to be here during this time to assist, to help. So think of yourself as a helper and a sister, and a sister, not a sister. Even if it's very small, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Okay? Even if it's just to bear witness during this time, So we are all needed right now. So the spiritual healing properties enhances the cosmic consciousness. Oh, we need that. Enhances the cosmic consciousness. Stimulates originality and creativity. Helps to express the true self, helps you understand your own potential. Cool. Okay, so I'm just putting down green opal And I'm going to specifically put helps you prepare for change and new beginnings. Does anybody have green opal already? New beginnings. I don't think I have any. You can get it as just a stone, right? It doesn't have to be like a polished opal, right? Okay. I don't think I have any. I'll have to double check. All right. Okay, last message for today. And like I said, on Thursday, we'll do 3 more. And then on Sunday, we'll do 3 more. Okay. So please, if you pull cards, let us know in the comments, let the community know what other messages you're getting for the month of August. Okay. Because other people might resonate with those messages. All right. So live through the chaos. Yay. Starseed Oracle. I haven't used this one for a little while. I love this. Look at the box. Isn't that cool? We always list our cards in the description if you want to grab them through our affiliate links. We get a little small commission if you want to support the channel. Okay. And just to remember to hit the thumbs up button, please, if you haven't done so already, if you like this content. Okay, so live through the chaos for August. Live through the chaos. Have we not been living through the chaos? We're getting pretty good at it, aren't we? I think we're getting stronger. That's definitely how I feel. Do you feel like you're getting stronger the more of this chaos that goes on? See, he doesn't know. They don't realize that they're building I don't want to say armor because that sounds very like warish, but it's standing in our personal power. I'm not really getting any cards from here. Come on, Starseed. Usually they bounce right out of there. Live through the chaos. What do you guys want us to know? What do you want us to know? It's either that or I just haven't gotten. They're a little sticking together, just a little bit. Okay, yeah, like a couple of them are. Any cards you guys want me to have for this? Live through the chaos. Okay. Maybe that one? Okay, I saw one bounce. Let me just see if those two. Okay. Do we need to pull a different card than those two, you guys? No. Okay, so the card on top? Yes, and the card on the bottom. You want me to read both of those? Yes. Okay. All right. So the first one, live through the chaos. Okay. It's funny because we got this card once before. You're not for everyone. Embrace your weirdness. Face your true north. I love that card. Live through the chaos, which means you're not for everyone. Everyone doesn't, maybe your relationships need to change. Maybe we need to continue embracing our own personal power, which is maybe embracing your weirdness, just because you might be a little different in your thinking or how you approach things. Totally fine. It will help you live through the chaos, okay? Face your true north. Face your true north, okay? And then this one is fall into my arms. Surrender, holding the opposites, extremes of life. Wow. I swear the last time we used this deck, we got both of these cards. I'm telling you. I really think these are the cards we got. It's bizarre. The one thing I noticed, you guys, when I've been doing the pendulum, and this happened to me like a couple of days ago when I was doing pendulum live on real time with you, and it happened this morning, is I knew the message 3 times. That happened one time when I was doing it in real time with you the other day. I think it was with Epstein. And then today, twice. I knew the message before. I needed the first letter, and once I got the first letter, I just got a message in my head, And it ended up being the message they spelt out, like a 2 or 3 word, 3 or 4 word. And I was like, okay, and then I thought, am I telling them what the message is, and then they're just spelling that out? So I asked them that, and they said no. So I'm like, okay, so that's kind of cool. I mean, I don't hear anything. It's just like all of a sudden I just know the message. And it is, I don't know. I don't know. Can anybody understand what I'm saying? And it's kind of exciting if that's a clair that I'm developing, but I don't know for sure. It just started happening. Okay, you're not for everyone. I really love this card. You're not for everyone. Okay, so how can you embrace your weirdness and not care so much about what other people think? Okay, that's really the ultimate message for this. How can you embrace your weirdness and not care so much about what other people think? Don't waste your precious time and gifts trying to convince others of your value. They won't ever want what you're selling. Don't try to convince them to walk alongside you. You'll be wasting both your time and theirs, and will likely inflict unnecessary wounds that will take precious time to heal. You're not for them, and they're not for you. Politely wave them on and continue on your way. Sharing your path with someone is a sacred gift. How beautiful is that? Don't cheapen it by rolling yours in the wrong direction. Keep facing your true north. That's just beautiful. So that's a message about living through the chaos. Okay, I'm going to spend some time on that because I'm not sure what I'm going to write down for me on that. So I'm going to just put that in my book and come back to that. Okay, so fall into my arms. I swear these are the 2 cards we got. Okay, I'm ready to embrace the extremes of my life. I lay all that I'm carrying onto the Great Mother's altar and fall completely into her arms. How beautiful is that? So I'm getting intuitively, for me, living through the chaos is give the Great Mother some of whatever I'm start feeling this month. The Great Mother ushered you in when you took your first breath, and she'll be there when you draw your last. Surrender, hold the opposites, extremes of life. She knows how challenging life can be, that being human can be lonely and confusing, that the polarity and separation can be excruciating when your soul remembers the oneness of Source, for sure. But at the same time, it can be incredibly glorious and sweet. So often we see things as either good or bad. When things go well, we make it mean that we're being rewarded. And when things are bad, then perhaps we've done something wrong. However, we're all here to expand and grow, and it's through the extremes of life that we do exactly that. I mean, it's been extreme. It's been really extreme. So we are living through the chaos going into August, okay? And I'm going to write in mine is something to the effect. It says, I lay all that I'm carrying onto the Great Mother's altar. So I'm going to put in my book here, basically, give fears and stress, however you want to say it, to the Great Mother, the Great Mother's altar. So I think that's a beautiful reminder to not do it alone, to not go through the chaos alone. What do you guys think about that? Okay, last one. Again, I'm going to keep this one out so I really love that card. It really calls to me. Okay, so the last one is the Sacred Medicine. Sacred Medicine. I got to text Lob and tell him that I'm behind. It's already 1:45. I'm supposed to launch at 2. He'll notice because the video won't be being uploaded right now. Okay, but I got to text him soon about it. Okay, so you guys, you had one more card or a couple more cards you wanted us to give. I always say I love every time I see a deck, I just love this deck. I mean, look at the cards on here. It's just so beautiful. Look at that. That's so beautiful. Okay, so what do you want us to know about living through the chaos? Not surprising, they picked the Starseed Oracle and the Sacred Medicine Oracle for living through the chaos. And it's funny because with the Just Laugh, they picked crystals and self-care. I mean, those are the ones they picked. Because then they threw the card and then I said, well, which message do you want me to use them for? You know, it's just interesting. Okay, so I've got 5 cards. So I've got a lot in front of me here. Let's see what they want to do. Okay, do you guys want me to read all of these cards? No. Okay. Do you want me to pick any others from the deck? No. Okay, let's go fast from the right, my right. Card number 1. Yes. Card number 2. No. Card number 3. Yes. Card number 4. No. Card number 5. No. Okay, so 1 and 3. 1 and 3. Okay. All right. Let's see what we've got. Now, this is still about living through the chaos. Full spirit moon, shine. Okay, we can still shine through the chaos, right? Mosaic, pieces. Beautiful, look at that. That's awesome. Okay, the card really makes me feel things. All right, so let's see. Number 4, shine. Okay, living through the chaos, okay? It is safe to take up space. I stand audaciously and own my luminosity. Those words are too big for me. I get that it's safe to take up space. That's funny. Okay, let's see. What needs to be released so that you can shine as bright as the full moon? So what needs to be released so you can shine as bright as the full moon? This chaos that we're living through, I think they're asking us what needs to be released, okay, collectively and individually. In Grandmother Moon's fullest expression, we are blessed with a light that is unapologetic and bold. Your precious essence is being called forward to match this energy. Very cool. While we all go through seasons where our light dims and we feel small, especially among all this chaos, right? This card shines forward to clear that way. Getting some clarity with this bright moon. That's awesome. We're going to get some clarity with this bright moon. What self-deprecating voices need to be released from your heart? What beliefs from your soul? As you step into the beauty of the expansive moonlight, you are pure illumination and potential. If you have felt shy in the past to radiate in your fullness, again, another message about personal power, remember that you are enough and there is space in the world for you. You belong. That's awesome. I think this kind of messaging is coming up right now. You know, it was like last month, it was like, love yourself, take care of yourself. Now they're almost taking us to another level. This is a different level than take care of yourself, love yourself. This is, which I think we've been doing. Okay, if you're not quite there yet, that's okay. But I think now they're moving us into the space of personal power, the space of boundaries, the space of, not feeling small, that the light will shine on our path, that we belong here. You belong here. Not just the elites, They are not the ones who just belong here. And I think they're starting to realize that. I think that's maybe where the turmoil is going to start to come in, because they do believe, and it's like a mindset thing. I can see how that would build for them over time. Because, the more money you have, the more people bow down to you, and they just do. People just do that. And then the more they can hold over you, if that's what they choose to do, and money is power, But I think they're going to start to be in turmoil because they're going to realize that there's a lot more to being on Earth. There's a lot more to this experience than just having that, There's more people here. It's not just them, Okay, that's very interesting. Just due to time, I'll write in my journal later. But what would you write in your journal about that? Okay, 47. 47. This is the mosaic. Okay. I retrieve all the pieces of the past that are calling for acceptance and love. I return to me. See, this is very different messaging than last month. Don't you feel that? Especially living through the chaos. It's almost like they're telling us that the chaos is here, but we're pulling it together. The pieces are coming together. So that's kind of cool. That's kind of how I'm interpreting that. What about you? Every experience, every sacred encounter, every word spoken from the past has contributed to who you are today. This card is asking you to zoom in and reflect on each of the tiny parts that make up the intricate mosaic of your journey. You will notice that even the pain and the heartbreak were necessary for your growth, adding texture and complexity to the whole. Are there parts that need forgiven? So in this chaos, this is like a personal, has there been some personal chaos within you? And are there parts that need to be forgiven? Are there aspects of your past that need tending to? Sometimes we skip over trauma and pain as we don't have the capacity to fully process it at the moment. The medicine of this card asks you to see the lessons learned and the wisdom gleaned from all parts that seemed hard. That's awesome. Okay, you guys, so that's the first 3 messages for August. I hope that gives you something to think about. Maybe, like I said, if you want to use the messages and pull your own cards, asking your team what specifically do you want to get out of those, or just ask for your own messages too. All right, let me know what you think, and I will see you tomorrow. Okay, bye-bye.